I've been searching for you. Can you hear my voice calling from the streets? Deep calls unto deep. The purpose of your heart is deep waters, but a wise woman of understanding will draw it out of you. Come, drink from the fountain of wisdom, for my treasures are more valuable than rubies or gold. For I give long life, honor, and you receive favor from the Most High God. I've been waiting for you. Hi, I'm Judah Jackson, the host and content creator for Wise Woman Wisdom. I'm so excited about our new topic, soulmates, because earlier this year, God had given me a prophetic word that one of the ways He is going to strengthen His body and the society at large is marriage. He is going to make matches in heaven. And so last week we compared and contrast the topic of soulmates by looking at Greek mythology and the Bible. And God's word is true. And although mythology means myth, something that's not true, like legend, I think the credibility there is that it is an archetypal story that's told all over the world. So there's relevance there, but also in the Bible, it is a similar pattern where we found that once the first being created was separated. In both, these are some of the parallels, both in mythology and in the Bible, which is in Genesis 2nd chapter, around 8 to like 24 or something like that. I just don't have that verse in front of me. But either way, so looking at the strong parallels, first that the original being in both mythology and in the Bible originally was one, and then it was divided in half. And for the Bible, it talked about that a rib was taken out of Adam and Eve was made. Now that word rib, we found out it's only used once in the Bible. And so it gives a definition, but sometimes you cross-reference to confirm the accuracy of how the word is used throughout the Bible, but it's only used once, but it's a significant portion that was separated out of Adam. And so soulmates, they talked about Zeus and the mythology that was a separation. So both we see are separated. In the second parallel is that both it was orchestrated by divinity, the mates that were made. And third, the essence of the other person, they're from the same source. Adam and Eve had the same DNA, but they're the same essence. When Adam first saw Eve, he said, "You are bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." He knew that she was like him. So your soulmate will be a lot like you. And so we concluded that a definition for soulmates, because it's general, you can look at Merriam-Webster that talks about a significant attachment and understanding between either a person, a regular relationship, or a romantic partnership that's significant and profound. But when we say soulmates, we are looking at like Adam and Eve, that God created her essentially for Adam as a helpmeet, and they belong together. And when the two are put together, is a holistic realization of their identity. And so, again, that's another parallel. But after we had looked at that, I think we looked at some specific examples in the Bible. We looked at Isaac and Rebekah, that an angel was involved to guide the servant to find the wife for Isaac. And then we looked at Queen Esther and King Xerxes, how God favored her. It was divine influence. In front of everybody she met, God gave favor to drive the two people together. And what was accomplished through all of their lives were very significant. So today, I want to introduce you to a resource, because what I am doing, I too am believing God for my mate. I'm 62 and I've never been married, and God has told me in 2022 that I will marry. So in my preparation and my research, I want to share that with you and hear your experiences. I want to share tools that I have found, and I want to share a resource, and that's why this book is here. This is by Neil Clark Warren. He is the founder of eHarmony. He's an excellent resource full of wisdom. First, he's been married to the same woman for 65 years. He has 3 children. He is a clinical psychologist who specializes in working with couples, and his specialty is compatibility. And this is his book. I'm going, over the next several weeks, I'm going to be talking about this book, the topic here. And so I want you to see that. And there's 2 different covers. The earlier release, this was the cover of it. The second release, it has a different cover. But I want you to see this book. It's called Finding the Love of Your Life, 10 Principles for Choosing the Right Marriage Partner. So I'll set this back down here. And so eHarmony has been rated the #1 dating site for marriage by Forbes magazine and several other reputable sources. And again, the key is compatibility. He has a system and a format, like there is a compatibility assessment that you take at eHarmony. And I was very impressed with some of the resources, some of the statistics that I found, because whether you're aware of it or not, the divorce rate of marriage in the United States right now is around 52%. So just about half of everybody married is going to get divorced. Now, the couples that have gotten married through eHarmony, the dating site, the divorce rate is only 3.86%, less than 4%. That is phenomenal. That is worth the price of admission. When I get my ducks in a row, I'm planning to enroll in eHarmony on their dating site. So he's a very good resource, and I'm just going to give you a tip of the iceberg, a really quick reason. Now, the #1 determinant of a successful marriage is mate selection. Choosing a compatible mate. And I'll give you real quickly 7 reasons why people do not choose a suitable mate. And the first one is they get married too soon. They make a decision too soon. Too soon to see the incompatibilities in the other partner. And I'm saying incompatibilities rather than compatibilities because I have found in my research over the decades that when it is right, you know it. It doesn't take a long time. But when it's wrong, if you don't see the incompatibilities, it's fatal. So it takes more time for the incompatibilities to be identified. And then 2, the decision is made at too young of an age. You can love each other, you can be perfect for each other at 18, but by the time you get 25, your goals may change, your vision, and you grow apart. And so 3 is 1 or both parties are just too eager to get married. Usually there's some kind of pressure. A woman might be looking at her biological clock, a man might be getting afraid of getting older, but something is pressuring the 1 or both parties to get married too soon, too eager. 4, 1 or both are choosing a mate based on what someone else wants you to do, who they want you to marry. You're married for the parents. He has money or she's successful, and the parents want you to marry them, but it's not your choice. You're marrying somebody else's choice. Number 5 is the experience level is too narrow. You haven't seen your potential partner in enough situations to see what kind of personality they are. For instance, maybe both of you get along just fine and everything is wonderful, but then when he gets with his friends or she gets with her friend, they act different. Or maybe they act different around their family. How are they under pressure? So another reason that you choose the wrong mate is your experience level is just too narrow. 6, the couple has unrealistic expectations. Some people see some flaws and think, oh, well, I can change him or I can change her, and that's unrealistic. They're not going to change, and so you're marrying for the wrong reason there. You're wanting to marry. And then one thinks that they'll make me happy, or she'll make me happy. Unrealistic expectations, because sometimes it's within you what's going on. And 7, the final one is one or both parties have unaddressed personality or behavioral difficulties or problems that they've never processed or addressed. There might be somebody that has an addictive personality to drugs or alcohol, or possibly somebody grew up in an environment that they were under a lot of fear and pressure, and they start lying, and they continue to lie. So these are things that can be worked through, but they have to be addressed. And if you don't see those, you don't know whether or not the person beforehand, if you didn't identify it, whether they would work through those. So those are the 7 basic reasons why people choose the wrong mate. So that's just some quick information, but again, I just recommend this book, and he's written several books, and even eHarmony. So Neil Clark Warren is his name. Excellent resource. So family, if this video has added value to your life, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember what Adam said, the quote for the day. She is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. There's a soulmate out there for you, man and woman of God. Until we meet again, go in love.